Today's news. Protests held in London and Paris demanding liberation of Ainhoula Fatoulayev. Appeal of jailed opposition member rejected. Trial held on chief editor's death in prison. Another violation of property rights. Project on missing military servicemen's problems launched. On April 20th, a protest action was held at the Azerbaijani embassy in London. The protesters demanded the release of imprisoned journalist Ainhoula Fatoulayev. The protest was organized by human rights defenders. The demonstrators wore masks that looked like Fatouleyev's face and chanted, "Freedom for Ainhoula." The statements of organizations claim Ainhoula Fatoulayev was arrested under the political charges regarding his criticism and investigative journalism work on April 20th, 2007. Rebecca Vincent from Article 19 called on Azerbaijan's authorities to fulfill the European Court of Human Rights verdict. She said the European Court had made the decision to liberate the journalist, and the Azerbaijani government had to comply with the decision. The protesters submitted their demands to the embassy. A similar protest was held in front of the Azerbaijani embassy in Paris by a group of journalists and human rights defenders. The protest was organized by Azadluk newspaper correspondent Agil Khalil. About 30 protest participants held photos of prosecuted journalists and chanted the slogan, "Freedom for Ainhoula Fatoulayev." The protests were dedicated to the 4th anniversary of Ainhoula Fatouleyev's arrest. In 2007, Ainhoula Fatoulayev, editor-in-chief of Realmi Azerbaijan and Gündelik Azerbaijan newspapers, was sentenced to 8.5 years in jail for threatening terrorism, among other charges. However, on April 22, 2010, the European Court of Human Rights ruled for his immediate release and financial compensation from the Azerbaijani government. The Azerbaijani Supreme Plenum Court has only partially fulfilled this decision. Today, the Baku Appeals Court heard the appeal filed by Musavat Party Sumgayit branch head Fakhreddin Abbas against the Nasimi District Court 18th April decision. The appeal was rejected. Judge Mirzali Abbasov chaired the hearing. Abbas's attorney Asabil Mustafayev told Objective TV that the procedural rights of his defendant were violated at the time of arrest. He was held without food or drinks for 20 hours. His rights and duties were not explained. Despite the existence of enough documents and evidence to prove illegal detention, the appeals court didn't grant the appeal. We'll take the issue to the European Court of Human Rights, the lawyer said. Musavat Party Sumgayit branch head Fakhreddin Abbas was arrested at the April 17th rally of the public chamber and sentenced to 7 days in jail by the Nasimi District Court. On April 20th, the Baku Appeals Court heard the appeal filed by the late Talishi Sado newspaper editor-in-chief Novrusali Mammadov's widow, Maryam Mammadova, and her son, Emil Mammadov, against the Nasimi District's Court's 27th January 2010 decision. Judge Ilgar Demirov presided over the hearing. The lawyer of the journalist's family, Ramiz Mahmadov, told the Objective TV today. According to lawyer Ramiz Mahmadov, Azerbaijan Medical University Examination Department head Zahid Mahmadov testified in the hearing. He said that the medical report regarding the late journalist is true. The plaintiff's lawyer, Ramiz Mahmadov, claimed that the medical report claiming Novrusali Mahmadov had hemorrhaging of the brain was ungrounded and false. He also stated that the late journalist had caught a cold when he was taken to the hospital, which was not registered in any medical documents, and he didn't receive necessary treatment. The judge then rescheduled the next hearing for April 29th at 10:30 a.m. In 2007, in a closed hearing, Mahmadov was sentenced to 10 years in jail and charged with high treason. Mahmadov believed that he was jailed with regard to ethnic political motives and freedom of expression. Mahmadov was one of the Talish minority. The 68-year-old editor-in-chief died in the Justice Ministry Penitentiary Services Central Hospital in 2009. Governmental agencies said that his death was due to illness. However, the Defense Committee for Novrusali Mahmadov's Rights and members of his family said that the editor-in-chief died due to medical negligence. Today, Aida Aliyeva, a resident of 61 Neftchylar Avenue, held a press conference to speak about the violation of her property rights. Rights defender Alakbar Mammadov said that the building is being brought down to serve business interests, despite a lack of any relevant documents. This illegal destruction is led by the State Property Committee on Azenko Construction Company. Aliyeva, owner of apartments 24 and 25 in the aforementioned building, said that the ceiling of her apartments has already been removed, and that there has been theft in the apartment. According to her, there are criminal facts such as violation of property rights, damage to property, and theft here. According to Alekbar Makhmadov, Aliyeva suffered a total of 300,000 AZN in losses. Therefore, relevant appeals have been addressed to the President and General Prosecutor. Another appeal is planned to be sent to the Interior Ministry, Ramil Usubov. In the case the appeal is ignored, violations will be reported to the foreign embassies, international agencies, and taken to the European Court of Human Rights. Aliyeva gave another reason to prove the illegality of the destruction, saying that a trade center is being constructed in the place of the former Baku City Court. According to her, due to this construction, the buildings 57 and 59 had been planned to be brought down, whereas building 61 was not intended to be brought down. Today, Reserve and Retired Officers Public Union held a presentation on the project called Support to Defense of Missing Military Servicemen's Rights. The project was funded by Council of State Support to Non-Governmental Organizations, and the project duration is 6 months. The union's head, Yashar Jafarlı, said that as a part of the project, roundtables, press conferences, meetings with missing servicemen's families are planned, as well as surveys to identify the social problems. Moreover, it is planned to conduct legal monitoring and to send appeals to government bodies to solve the identified problems. Yashar Jafarlı stated that nearly 5,000 people are included in this category, the majority of whom became missing during the war, 1992 to 1994. According to him, the main problem is that missing servicemen's families have not been provided with insurance money. Besides, damages as a result of the Armenian aggression are not estimated, and the compensation of this loss is not demanded from Armenia. In spite of the fact that those families file appeals to the courts to get obligatory state insurance, the courts do not grant those appeals, and they have an inattentive approach to the problem.